How to never get angry or bothered by anyone. *1. Why you get angry in the first place. Explain that anger is a natural emotion, but becomes harmful when it controls your reactions. Share how people often believe others make them angry when, in reality, it's their interpretation that triggers the response. Introduce the core idea of emotional mastery. You can't control people, but you can absolutely control your reactions. This video will teach psychological, philosophical, and practical methods to reach a state where external negativity can't disturb your inner peace. 2. The root cause of anger. Expectations. Discuss how expectations create emotional pressure. Whenever someone behaves differently from what you expect, you feel insulted, disrespected, or angry. Describe that lowering or removing expectations frees you from disappointment. If you expect nothing from anyone, their behavior loses its power to affect you. Emphasize that peace comes from internal standards, not from controlling others. 3. Understanding the ego. The real source of irritation. Explain how the ego is always trying to defend itself, its image, pride, opinions, and identity. Most anger arises because the ego feels attacked. Describe how people feel angry when someone disagrees, criticizes, or ignores them all because the ego takes everything personally. Understanding the ego and separating your identity from other people's opinions is the first step toward never being bothered. 4. The power of emotional detachment. Explain the concept of detachment, not caring less, but caring in a healthier way. Emotional detachment gives you the ability to observe situations without reacting instantly. Describe how detachment allows you to stay in control even when others are rude or disrespectful. Share examples of how emotionally detached people never respond emotionally. They respond rationally. 5. The pause before reaction technique. Explain that the human brain reacts automatically in milliseconds, but adding even a 2-second pause interrupts the emotional cycle. Instead of instantly reacting, you allow the emotional wave to pass and respond with clarity. Discuss the science behind the amygdala and rational thinking. This pause alone can save relationships and stop unnecessary fights. 6. Mastering your internal dialogue. Talk about how anger is created by thoughts, not by people. When someone irritates you, your mind starts telling a story. They disrespected me. They shouldn't act like this, or they're doing this on purpose. These internal stories fuel anger. Discuss how changing your internal dialogue using neutral or positive interpretations instantly reduces emotional reactions. 7. The art of not taking things personally. Explain. Most negative behavior is not about you. It's about the other person's emotions, insecurities, or personal struggles. When you internalize this truth, nothing can bother you. Describe examples like rude people at work, strangers who lash out, or family members who criticize. Emphasize that their behavior reflects them, not you. 8. Rising above drama and low vibration behavior. Discuss how some people thrive on drama and emotional reactions. When you rise above their level, you stop feeding their negativity. Explain how maturity means choosing peace over winning arguments. Describe how calmness is a superpower in chaotic environments. 9. The Stoic principle. Control what you can. Ignore what you can't. Introduce the Stoic idea that anger comes from trying to control things outside your power. Explain that you can control your response, mindset, and choices, but you cannot control others' emotions or actions. When you internalize this principle, you naturally stop getting angry because you don't fight battles you can't win. 10. Developing a higher perspective. Discuss how stepping back and seeing the bigger picture makes small irritations meaningless. Things you get angry about today won't matter in a week, month, or year. A higher perspective builds emotional resilience. Share examples of how wise people stay calm by understanding long-term value. 11. Building thick skin. Explain that emotional strength isn't about being cold. It's about being unshakable. The world will always include critics, difficult people, and stressful situations. You need to develop mental armor. Describe how thick skin protects your peace and makes you less reactive. 12. The power of acceptance. Explain that acceptance doesn't mean agreeing with everything. It means acknowledging that people behave based on their nature. When you accept reality instead of resisting it, you remove the root of anger. Share examples like accepting family flaws, workplace challenges, or people's different communication styles. 13. How to stay calm in the heat of the moment. Provide actionable techniques such as focusing on your breath, grounding yourself by noticing your surroundings, or using mindfulness phrases like, "This moment will pass." Explain how these techniques instantly reduce emotional heat and help you regain control. 14. The emotional glass wall technique. Describe a visualization where you imagine a glass wall between yourself and the other person. Their words, tone, and actions hit the glass, but never reach inside. This mental imagery helps you stay protected and calm during confrontations. 15. Becoming emotionally independent. Explain how dependence on external validation or behavior creates emotional instability. True peace comes from controlling your emotional needs internally. Describe how emotionally independent people don't need others to act a certain way to feel. Okay. 16. The power of silence and stillness. Discuss how silence prevents unnecessary arguments and stops the escalation of anger. Sometimes the best response is no reaction at all. Explain how stillness gives clarity and prevents mistakes made in emotional states. 17. Letting go of the need to prove yourself. Explain that many people get angry because they want to prove they're right or justify their decisions. True emotional mastery means being secure enough not to engage in pointless arguments. Describe how letting go of this need saves your energy and peace. 18. Avoiding energy drains and triggering environments. So explain how some environments and people naturally provoke anger. Minimizing unnecessary exposure protects your mental state. Discuss how smart people choose their company wisely and protect their personal space. 19. Practicing self-compassion. Discuss how anger often comes from internal stress, exhaustion, or self-criticism. When you treat yourself kindly, you naturally react less to external negativity. Explain how giving yourself grace reduces reactivity. 20. Emotional reset. How to recover after you get angry. Explain practical steps like stepping away, journaling, walking, or talking to a calm friend. Describe how emotional resets help you process and learn from the situation instead of repeating the same reaction in future. 21. The "Is this worth my peace?" question. Teach viewers to ask themselves a single question before reacting. Will this matter tomorrow? Most problems aren't worth losing peace over. Describe how this question instantly lowers emotional intensity and shifts perspective. 22. Choosing peace as a lifestyle. Explain that emotional control isn't a trick, it's a lifestyle. Choosing peace means adopting habits, mindsets, and boundaries that cultivate serenity. Describe how this lifestyle turns anger into a rare and unnecessary emotion. 23. Why emotionally calm people are the strongest ones. Explain how emotional calmness isn't weakness, it's strength. People who can't control their anger are controlled by everyone. But calm people control themselves and influence others with maturity. Describe how this gives them authority and respect. 24. The long-term benefits of staying unbothered. Is how staying calm improves your relationships, productivity, mental health, and self-confidence. Explain how peaceful people make better decisions, avoid regrets, and experience less stress. 25. Becoming untouchable emotionally. Wrap up by reinforcing the main idea. Peace is a choice, detachment is a skill, and emotional control is a superpower anyone can develop. Encourage viewers to practice the techniques daily and remind them that nothing is more valuable than inner peace.